Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another dupe video. Not exactly, but as you see from the title, we are trying to anti-haul the new Viseart Soleil palette. And that is because it is absolutely gorgeous and I want it and I shouldn't because I was quite sure I had all these eyeshadow colors already in my collection. I am going to pop the palette up here, and as you can see, it is a beautiful, colorful palette. Viseart is putting out these shades in a Petite Pro format, so they are small eyeshadows, and there are 8 of them, and the palette retails for $30. It will release on March 1st on Beautylish, and I haven't heard anything about it going to other retailers. It is released in tandem together with the Apricotine palette, which is a little bit of a warm nude type of eyeshadow, but that I think is actually quite easier to dupe than the Soleil palette. And the Soleil palette has all the shades that really speak of summer to me. It is beautiful. You can do sunset looks, very bright yellow looks. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful palette. And the packaging is yellow. Okay, now that I have sold myself into buying this palette, no. I actually was today looking at my makeup table and I was like, I don't have an inspiration of what look to do. Sorry for my lipstick on my teeth. Anyways, I don't have inspiration. I don't know what to do. I was trying to find something that would excite me to play with makeup today, and then I knew I wanted to film. So I opened my ColourPop new eyeshadow palette. These are the 24 singles that they released recently. I got them with a build your own palette, and I did a whole review of these eyeshadows on my blog and on my video. And on my channel, I will have it linked in the cards so that you can take a look at all the shades and my review on them. However, looking at it, I saw that there were so many similar shades to this Viseart Soleil palette, and I was like, but I just bought these eyeshadows. They reminded me of summer, and there's so many similar ones. So I went and actually started playing with them and created this look, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of looks like the Viseart Soleil palette. So I decided I needed to share this with you guys because I know many of you actually are really tempted to buy this palette by Viseart. So let's just save some money, and if you have already bought the new ColourPop singles, you don't need the Viseart ones. Let's put it that way. I have put my dupes here in this palette right here. Again, this is not exact dupes. Oops. Because I don't have the palette, I cannot compare them. I went off of the few images that are available now on Instagram. As I'm filming this, this was just spoilered yesterday or the day before. So there's very few swatches out online. However, I thought I would go for it and start my own palette with these shades. At the end of this video, I will also insert the tutorial for this eye look in case you're interested, and I will also show you a little bit how to use the eyeshadows that I didn't add into my ColourPop one because the video was already huge and super long and super detailed. I have my phone here. I am on Temptalia's website. She has done swatches, eye looks, and the descriptions of the shades, so that's kind of where I went off of. And I'm gonna start with the first shade. The first shade is called Pastille, and it is a warm beige with a matte finish. And I looked around, and in my collection, Peach Smoothie is the shade that most closely resembles it. This is a beautiful and perfect shade for your transition, and like one of the first shades to put down in your eye look. Peach Smoothie is a staple of mine. I have quite a dip inside it, and gorgeous. I know a lot of you have it because it is really famous in the community. So that is the first eyeshadow. The next one is Taffy. Taffy is a warm coral with a sparkle finish. For Taffy, I decided to pick Thank You Next by ColourPop. This is one of my favorite shades from this last launch, and it is a duochrome eyeshadow with a lot of sparkle and quite a glittery texture. And it behaves really well, and it shifts from an orange to a pink. This makes it a coral in my opinion. And Taffy is a little bit more red and raspberry actually in the swatches from what I can see. And here you can see dry, not so good actually, swatch of Thank You Next. And it is very shimmery, very shiny, and it has a pink and orange shift. I really like this eyeshadow. I don't have exactly from the shades it looks really like a raspberry shimmery shade. I do have something similar from Nabla. It's the shade Aphrodite, and mine is very old and is broken, but I'll put it here for you guys. And this is a little bit more, I don't know, less duochrome, less pink, and it lacks the sparkly finish because this is more of a traditional shimmer. These are two options. I think Taffy is a little bit more red than these two and a little bit more pink, raspberry indeed, as I said, than these two. Final option would be Razzle Berry, I think it's called, the one from Makeup Geek, but that eyeshadow had issues because it has a gold glitter in it. That it's a matte with a gold glitter. It's not great. I wouldn't recommend that eyeshadow, but maybe it's closer in color. Anyways, for me, it doesn't really matter. Any of these shades do the work for that eyeshadow. Next one up is Watermelon, and Watermelon is a warm red with a pearl finish. And for this one, actually, I picked a matte, and this is the shade Meteorites from Colourpop, these last eyeshadows they released. And it's a little bit of a muted warm red. I think it looks really pretty in combination with all the shades in this color family. Here it is. And another option for that would be Oh Ship, which is even more red. This is what it looks like. Let me swatch it next to it. And a little bit more vibrant. So I used both of these on my eyes today just to show you the difference. But to be honest, either of these would work. Probably Oh Ship is brighter and more vibrant, so it would be a better dupe or alternative, but I think they're both really pretty. And I'm not sure if Oh Ship is still available because actually Colourpop has been putting back in stock shades that were out of stock, so I'm really confused. I don't know anymore what is still in stock and what is not. The next shade is Pastis, which is a warm matte yellow. And for this, from the new Colourpop eyeshadows, of course, it's Take Flight. This yellow here. It is a bright yellow. It is not the most pigmented thing on earth. You can see it here. You can build it up quite nicely. You can actually see it well on my brow bone today. Another option, which I think is always the best yellow in the market, is Sugar Pill Butter Cupcake, which is right here. It's a little bit warmer, and I'm terrible at swatching today. I think because my fingers are so dry. It is a little bit warmer and a little bit less based on white, but either of these would work. And the Colourpop Take Flight is, yeah, my pick for this palette. The next shade is Bonbon, and Bonbon look extremely similar to this Solstice with the Mostest from Colourpop, which is a fuchsia with some lavender and blue shift. And it's what I have on my lid today. This was actually the shade that brought me to do this video because I was like, doesn't this look really similar? And this is it. It is here. And yeah, to me, it looked really similar to all the swatches of Bonbon from the Viseart palette. The next shade is a purple. It's called Lavender, and it's a cool purple with a matte finish. Now, I think this is not as dark as it should be, but I think it looks amazing. This is Try Me by Colourpop. I am wearing it. For all the purple that you see on my eye is this shade either packed on or blended in. And you can see that actually it kind of, I wouldn't say oxidizes. I have a mirror here to show you, but you'll see in the tutorial that it looks way more bright than what it looks like now. So it doesn't apply to the eye the way it looks in the pan after a little bit. I have this look on only for a few minutes, and I did not add any deeper shades than this one. And this is a matte. It is a bit on the dry side. However, it's a matte purple, and matte purples are notoriously difficult. You can see that swatching is actually really difficult. I will again show you in the tutorial how to deal with this eyeshadow and get it so intense and pretty like it is on my eyes, I think, at least today. And this is Try Me. Another option also from Sugar Pill is Poison Plum. And Poison Plum has a beautiful texture and is, you can see, better. However, Poison Plum is also and Butter Cupcake from Sugar Pill. They're a bit more expensive. If you have them though, I think they would be great options for this eyeshadow. Next in the Viseart palette is Marmalade, and Marmalade from the swatches looks like it has an orangey terracotta base with a very pretty gold shimmer on top. Now again, I don't have the shade in front of me, so I cannot actually tell you if it's that way, but I wanted to pick a bright orange metallic, and that is Croco. It's a burnt orange metallic actually, and it will fit super pretty with the yellow and reds and the purple, and this is it. It doesn't, I think it does not have the complexity that the shade Marmalade in the Viseart palette has, but I think this will do the trick. Again, it's more about shopping your stash, finding the same vibe and getting re-inspired by eyeshadows that you already have, rather than going out and buying a new palette. And I have hair in my mouth. Annoying. The final shade in the palette is Soleil, and that is a warm metallic gold. I picked Carrot Cake to dupe that, let's say, because it is a warm metallic gold and it is really pretty, and it is what I have on my inner corner today. I think this is quite an easy one. You probably have a shade like this in your collection already. And those were all my picks for this, let's say, dupe anti-haul for the Soleil palette by Viseart. Again, this is what they look like, and I think it actually quite embodies what that palette, the vibes of that palette, the purple, the red, the yellow, the orange. I think it looks really similar, and it gives me the same inspiration. So for me, that is enough to tell me I don't need the Viseart palette. It's absolutely beautiful, but I can do without. It's also very specific shades and not something that you might be able to use in a very versatile way. It's a very summer palette. I like that they made it in a Petite Pro format, so the small pans, and yeah, you have a small investment if you want to buy it. If you don't have these shades or similar shades, it's a very nice bright eyeshadow palette. Again, I didn't try it, so I don't know how it is. I am pretty happy and convinced that on the 1st of March I will not be placing an order, and I will not need to be buying the palette. Now let's get into the tutorial for this eye look. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. I am starting with the shade Take Flight on a small blending brush, and I'm gonna apply this all over my fixed crease, let's say. So this higher part towards the brow bone. Then with a small packing brush and the shade Try Me, I am going to pat the shade where I want it to be. This is done on primed eyes, of course, but I did not set my primer this time. With these bright colors, it is better, I found, to pat and then blend rather than the other way around. And I'm gonna start to sketch out the shape of my eyeshadow as well. Because you see that if I drag the eyeshadow, it will be patchy. So I prefer to pat it on to have the pigment where it needs to be. And I don't think this is any fault of ColourPop's, but it's more the type of eyeshadow, the type of color, and the pigment, the fact that it's probably a pigment instead of a regular eyeshadow. Then I'm going in with that blending brush and gently beginning to blend out the edges, but I'm not really dragging the color anywhere, I'm just diffusing. And that is actually, I think, the trick to get these eyeshadows not to get patchy, is to first of all layer them on other powders and then pack them on and just diffuse, not try to drag the color in any direction. As you can see, this eyeshadow, when blended out, quite changes color. It's also blending in with the yellow, of course, and it goes from this very purple to this more berry purple, which for this makeup I think is very nice. I'm going in with an even smaller brush to make sure to add that bright purple shade again where it was blended out. And then blending out the edges again. Now, to make the transition even more interesting, I'm taking Meteorite, also by Colourpop, on the same little blending brush, and applying it to the edge between the purple and the yellow. And this is just to give another color gradient here and smoothen the transition between the two shades. Meteorite is easier to blend than the purple, and that is, again, I think just due to the color. Purples and blues are notoriously difficult eyeshadows to make matte, so this is a trick that helps if you go in graduating shades. It makes the blending much easier. For the lid, I am taking Solstice with the Mostest and taking it dry on my brush, because I saw that if I go in with a wet brush it will hard pan, and then I'm wetting it afterwards if I actually hit it. And then applying that on my lid. I'm gonna clean up the eyes, do my base, and I'll be right back. I started without you guys, but I went in with this shade here, which is Carrot Cake, in my inner corner, right there, hitting that shiny place. And it's a beautiful yellow shimmer. Then with a pencil brush, I'm going in with Oh Ship and lining my lower lash line with it. Very gently to give that pop of red, orangey red, I guess, to the lower lash line. To get even close on the outer side, I'm taking an even smaller brush and really pushing that color in between the lashes to get a little bit even more payout. Then with a little clean blending brush and the shade that we used on the crease, Meteorite, I am going in and blending this out. This can get quite messy and grungy. I don't mind right now because I have all the colors of the rainbow on my eye. Well, not the rainbow, but the sunset, let's say. And that is all fine. To finish off the eye look, I am taking this pencil from Neve Cosmetics. This is called Reversal, and it's a white lilac shade. And applying it in my waterline just for the contrast. I don't want red in my waterline because it will make me look sick. And this will kind of give a little bit of a distance. You can see that it actually goes to mix in with the eyeshadow, but that is not a big deal. And I'm gonna do lashes and finish the rest of my face and then get back to you to show you the final look. And here we go. This is the completed look with some false eyelashes and a blush that is recalling the whole sunset situation, and a bright lip because it's sunny outside and I just need bright lipstick. I hope you guys enjoyed this mini tutorial for an inspiration if you don't want to buy lipstick on my teeth. If you want to resist and not buy the Viseart Soleil palette, this is Shop My Stash. If you have these shades, you probably don't need that palette, do you? And I don't need it either. I'm actually very happy to have found that out. I was quite without inspiration today for a makeup look, and then these swatches for that palette came up and I was like, but I know something like this. So here it is. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!